And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Thursday, February 16th. I am Josh Engleman, here to break down a three-game NBA slate on the final day before the All-Star break. No games Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, which means I am on vacation shortly. And I'm not going to lie, I'm excited about it. It is very needed. Been waiting for this one for a while. But for today, we still got to talk a little bit about basketball. This one's going to be an easy one. We should be able to zip through it. Good morning to everybody that's here. Good morning to chat. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman, where I will probably not have a ton of basketball content over the next few days. Maybe we'll get into some prize picks for the All-Star game, but probably just get picks of my regular life. That's going to be the extent of it up until we get back to it next week. Yesterday, if you watched the process show, you would have heard me complain about my prize picks where Kevin Huerter went, all I needed him to do was make a free throw. He went 0 for 2 from the line, and obviously that ended up not working out for me the way that I would have liked it to. Well, we ran that one back last night with a better free throw shooter and another 0 for 2. That one cost me the 3 of 5. If you can pick 60% winners on prize picks, you can crush. Unfortunately, I didn't get to that 60% mark yesterday because Vooch went 0 for 2. Not ideal. Not ideal. And we're going to go through the math of that one. Since this is the process, we're going to go through the math of that one in a second. But first, let's talk a little coffee. I've got it here. I expect it to be delicious. I cannot wait to drink it. The first coffee, the final coffee before the All-Star break. So, cheers to you guys. Thank you for being here for this first half of the season. Rise and grind, everybody. That is why we are here. Final slate before the break. Let's get into it. Cheers. You know what? I forgot to put a little bit of my sweetener in it. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to go do that. I feel like I should. Should I? Chat, it's up to you. Should I add a little sweetener to my coffee, or should I just suck it up and drink it now? Your call, folks. Your call. I'll let you guys be the answer to this one. You know what? Okay, go ahead. I'll let you guys be the answer to this. I know where it's going to go, but I'll let you guys help me out here. Okay. Calvin, I kind of agree with Calvin. I kind of agree. Everybody else is on my side, which is what I was expecting. I think, Calvin, you lose. We back. Calvin, you lost. One packet of the good stuff. I'm a splendid guy. Oh, Calvin with the L. I like that. I deserve it after the free throws. What do I play while All-Star Week is on? Nothing. I could not be more excited to not do anything. Could not be more excited to not have any responsibilities. All right. Powder in. I'm even ridiculous. I'm going to have to mute it. I brought my milk frother too. So, you know. Now we're in business, folks. Now we are in business. Lid back on. Let's try this again. Cheersing it up, guys. Round 2. Sweetened and everything. Oh, it's like night and day. It's like night. It changes the entire flavor profile of my coffee. It just lifts it up, gives it that zippity doo-dah, man. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier. All right. Now let's get into it. Shouts to BetMGM for being the sponsor. First thing we're going to do, we're going to talk free throws. We're going to talk free throws. Because I'm a petty person that needs to look at this kind of stuff. So, based on the Darko projection system, that estimates true talent. That's it. We're going to say that, and like I could use my own data if I wanted to here, but I'm going to do an independent source. Kevin Huerter's a 73.5% free throw shooter. Vooch is at 82.5. So the odds of Huerter missing both free throws. He's 26% to miss the first one. 26% to miss the second one. The chances that you miss them both. 7% here. So the chance that Kevin Huerter went 0 for 2 from the line as a 73% shooter, 7%. The chance that Vooch does it as an 82% free throw shooter, 3.1%. The chance that they both happen, that this outcome happens and this outcome happens, 0.21%. Or, look at it a different way, a 1 in 460 chance that Kevin Huerter and Vooch would go 0 for 2 from the line on back-to-back days. 1 in 460, just by generic math, a 0.2% chance that would happen. And it happened on back-to-back nights. Last night to cost me a simple 3 of 5. I'm not asking for much. I'm really not asking for much there. Got a little, like Ja didn't get there. We nailed Jokic. Nick Claxton wasn't the key. It happened because I frothed my coffee. That's fair. I add cream to my coffee until it reminds me of Beyonce. It's going to be one of those mornings, isn't it? But anyway, I had to get this off my chest because there are things that happen where you're just like, you just got to chalk it up to being that's part of the game. I don't like to complain about bad beats. This is a bad beat. To get the opportunity to shoot 2 free throws and for both guys to go 0 for 2 is absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. 1 in 460. All right, let's talk games. 3 to go. We're going to get through it pretty quickly, I might add. So not a lot to worry about there. The Milwaukee Bucks are 7-point favorites in Chicago, 229 total. For Milwaukee, no Jay Crowder, no Pat Connaughton, and no Bobby Portis. So this should be pretty easy to project. I'm going to assume that Milwaukee just plays this one pretty straight. So, we get Grayson Allen in, I'll say 29 minutes. Take Chris Middleton up to 25. Marshawn Beauchamp probably going to play a little bit more today. We'll get him up to 18 minutes. Somebody else is going to step into this rotation, I think. What's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? I mean, I can get to 10 guys. Where's that 10th? I guess, do I think Mamukelashvili plays 15 minutes? We'll probably get a little bit less than that. We'll go 22 to Wes Matthews since he doesn't matter. We'll get Joe Ingles up to 25. We'll get Javon Carter up to 18. And then we can say Mamu plays 7 minutes. I don't have rates to change, though. Pat Connaughton doesn't make a difference for anything. So this is just going to be the same rates we already have in, which makes Milwaukee easy to do. Now, the problem here, there's not going to be a lot that we're going to be handling here for the Chicago Bulls. We don't know their status. For some strange reason, they close out the All-Star break with a back-to-back. So, DeMar, we don't know the status, but I'm assuming he's out. We got Caruso in yesterday. We didn't have Derek Jones. We didn't have Goran Dragic. I don't have a great feel for what's going to be happening here. I really don't. Like, Dragic was out yesterday with left knee soreness. Derek Jones is a left adductor strain. I have no idea what to do with someone like Caruso, who had a pretty late Q tag yesterday. I'm not sure there's a lot we can do with Chicago until a bit later in the day. Caruso played 30 minutes last night, was barely involved. Kobe White played 33 minutes. It does sort of feel like Goran Dragic is going to play today, even though he didn't play yesterday. I assume Derek Jones isn't going to play, but Dragic playing matters to a degree. I am going to get Dragic in for, like the 14 minutes that he normally plays. Dalen Terry played a lot less. So I guess I feel pretty comfortable going 29 to Caruso and 34 to Dosunmu, 30 to Kobe White, 38 to Levine. I'm pretty happy with the minutes that I have in here right now. Did Vooch and Drummond play alongside each other at all? They did not. They did not. You just got more playing time. Oh, this is, why am I looking at it like this? This is Monday's game. I didn't pull new data. We're just going to have to go with that for right now. And if we do, as we look at Chicago, and I definitely have to update the boom calcs. Boom, boom. Boom and boom. I mean, $3,400 Caruso was popular yesterday. Assuming the Bulls look like they did yesterday, then he's going to be popular again today, too. Kobe White is $700 more expensive. Will he look good? Yes. Is he someone you can get to aggressively? No, I don't think so. Levine and Vooch are both basically appropriately priced to a degree. Both guys will look good, not great. It's the value that you're trying to get here from Chicago. Dosunmu, Williams, White, Caruso. That's where we want to be. And on a day like today, I would probably want to play like max 2 of 3 on Dosunmu, White, and Caruso. On the Milwaukee side, since we got a bunch of value for Chicago, it does make it at least a little bit easier to get to $12,700 Giannis. But Grayson Allen, I think, stands out the most at $3,900 with no Pat Connaughton around. Just going to play his 29 minutes or so. He's a 0.75 guy. It's not all that fun. I'm very happy to take the shot at $5,500 Chris Middleton. But the Bulls side of this game looks a lot better. We just need to know who's actually playing for Chicago. Hope you guys had Mikal Bridges yesterday, who absolutely went insane for Brooklyn. Let's go to Washington, who are allegedly in the Russell Westbrook. What's like the opposite of a sweepstakes? What's a contest you enter where, like, I guess it's probably sort of like DFS for most people. Getting Westbrook is like buying a lottery ticket, winning, and then finding out that you have to pay the balance. Trying to mix my sweet cream with my cinnamon creamer. Oh, so that'd be like putting the icing on the cinnamon buns. I like that idea. All right, so for Washington, I assume they're just at full strength. Yeah, everybody that could be available is available. We got Kuzma back. He went straight into 36 minutes. Denny played reduced minutes. We got a lot of DeLon Wright and Monty Morris alongside each other. 8 minutes, in fact. Why did we get Taj? What happened to Daniel Gafford on Tuesday? Was that... And Popcorn Machine just went 4 columns wide. That's a new one. Oh, booby prize. That's not bad. All right, so Gafford picked up a foul in his first rotation, came back out, picked up a second, didn't play the entire second quarter with 2 fouls. That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it. He picked up 2 more in the third quarter. So that got him to 4. He picked up his 5th early. Okay, so, I mean, that's just aggressive foul trouble. Maybe we should make it 26 minutes for Gafford instead. But at the same time, they were clearly more than okay going to that DeLon Wright, Monty Morris combo, including essentially closing with it in lieu of Gafford. So we got to think about why that happened. Like, Denny played a ton and then just never saw the floor again. It's kind of a weird game. Silent Assassin, good work. I got to get DeLon right up to like 24 minutes. Kendrick Nunn played a lot less, and that feels okay to me. Huso's minutes seem fine. Porzingis minutes seem fine. I'm okay with 26 for Gafford, 32 for Beal. Kispert played less, and Denny played less. And for some reason, they went to Taj. I'm thinking they only went to Taj Gibson because of Gafford. Because Gibson played. Taj Gibson checked in the staggered rotation you would have expected to get out of Gafford. The second rotation is the one that is a little bit concerning because Taj didn't check in for Gafford. Gafford had been out. Taj checked in for Porzingis, but I guess that's because they didn't have the opportunity to go to the stagger. So I guess the real question then becomes, how do we want to project Denny Avdia and Corey Kispert? Do I think this continues to be a 9-man rotation? That's the real question. And I do. I think we're okay here with rates. I think Washington is more standard than I'm giving them credit for today. So then we'll go to the Minnesota side where I think we got some news on them last night. Yeah, Q-Tag Anderson, Q-Tag Gobert. I haven't had that issue before. That seems new. So we're going to look at this Minnesota rotation. They last played on Monday. Everybody that could have been in was in. I'm going to knock down Rudy Gobert's minutes by 1. We'll get Naz Reid up. Okay, so they didn't even split all the center minutes. Who did they go to at center when Gobert and Reid weren't the center? Because that's an important question. Because it's not a blowout. This is competitive minutes. So first half, it's a straight backup Gobert Reid. Second half, did Gobert foul out? Nope, 3 fouls. So they just didn't close with Gobert. Okay, now to be fair, that happened against Dallas. They were able to they took Gobert off the floor to close with Taurean Prince. That is not going to happen. So I'm going to maintain that 32-16 here. The only reason they didn't play alongside each other is because they're playing the Dallas Mavericks. They're not closing small against the Wizards. So that makes it a little bit easier. Conley got up to 32 minutes, so I feel comfortable going to 30 there. He split minutes naturally with McLaughlin. He did. Straight 48. So Jordan McLaughlin becomes Mike Conley's direct backup. That piece is easy. Let's get everybody here reprojected since it's that kind of slate. Kyle Anderson in at the 4. He's basically splitting time with Taurean Prince. Prince started over Anderson. Anderson was probably set to close, but we don't really know for sure. I think we're going to go like 26-22. Or maybe even... because there was a stretch of time where neither guy was on the floor, which is kind of wild. But you definitely have to have Jaden McDaniels out there at that point. 26 for Anderson feels about right, but I almost want to go to like 24 on Prince. So if I have 2 more minutes left, I'm going to allocate that. Jaden McDaniels played 31 minutes. That's probably about the max that you could expect here. I'm going to go to 30. We know that we need to get Ant in for 36. He's just sort of the guy that runs the show here. So then what we've got left is Jalen Noel and Austin Rivers splitting 30 minutes. I think that's going to be 16 for Noel, 14 for Rivers. So I don't really have that Taurean Prince playing time. That's just sort of got to be what it is. There's just no playing time left here. Should I be giving Jalen Noel more minutes? Maybe. Maybe. But I'm going to stick here. Rates stay the same. Wizards. Sorry. Wolves. I think Taurean Prince, if he's playing 22 minutes, really nice value. I would likely get to Rudy Gobert at 6,200. I think that's a really nice price tag if he's playing, and you're assuming that he gets standard run. And against the Wizards, you expect him to want to close. The question really is, who closes over who closes, Anderson or Prince? You assume it's Anderson. And it's interesting because I do like Anderson on the second unit if Conley's starting at point guard. It just makes a little bit more sense to me. But I guess it's not all that different than Russell doing it. I mean, Edwards, McDaniels, Kyle Anderson all look fine. You're probably flipping a coin between like McLaughlin and Noel to see if anybody can like fall into a bunch of extra time. Nothing too crazy there. On the Wizards, we just really don't like this team. 5K Daniel Gafford to me is the most interesting guy. Hopefully he gets slept on a little bit. You know, you need to make the bet on getting the extra playing time, but, you know, DeLon Wright at 4,100 will be an okay value. Everybody for Washington is just sort of the same. Yeah, Nikita, that's a great point, too. I mean, we do have Anderson coming back off of a, you know, he's constantly limited, constantly a question mark. But we don't know if he's going to close or not. That's the real tricky part. I don't have much to talk about for the Wizards. Like, basically, anybody you think is playing 20 minutes is interesting, but nobody's, like, legitimately interesting. And then finally, we're going to close it out with the LA Clippers. I mean, we're going to zip through this, obviously. 3 games. There's not a lot to write home about today. Don't play DeLon because his minutes have been destroyed by none. You're going to have to tell me why DeLon Wright played 29 minutes on Tuesday, along with 10 of them alongside of Monty Morris. Nunn basically only got minutes once. I don't like projecting the Clippers. Norm Powell is out. So I assume they just slot in one of the other 27 guys that they have because they have too many dudes. Dude, somebody's got to play the minutes. There's 240 of them to go around. Terrence Mann, I think we have to assume is playing like 28 minutes today. Let's start there. I think we're going to see an increased amount of run to Eric Gordon. We ended up getting 16 minutes for Bones, 17 for Plumlee. They played 45 of the 48 center minutes, and then it closed with the blowout. So they never went small. And against the Suns, I doubt they would, since Ayton can guard on the perimeter. But let's look at that Tuesday rotation where we had Clippers. They won by 10. Terrence Mann didn't close that game, but he did come in for the blowout run with Bones Highland, Brandon Boston, Amir Coffey, and Diabate. That's weird. So they were closing with Norm Powell and Eric Gordon over Marcus Morris and Terrence Mann. And then they were closing with Zubac, playing 28 minutes. So I'm going to stick with 28 there for Zoo. 18 for Plumlee, 2 to Marcus Morris. Ryan, it's just so delicious. It's just so delicious. I've really got it dialed in right now. Creamer, sweetener when I remember it, chocolate, collagen powder. Like, it's literally, to me, this is adult hot chocolate. It tastes like a hot chocolate with, that extra, like an adult dark hot chocolate. Because the bitterness of the coffee soups up the chocolate protein powder. The brown sugar oat milk creamer is like super rich and creamy. That chocolate protein powder tops it all. It's just, I've twisted the dials enough over the past month or so that I'm very happy about it. We only got 8 minutes out of Batum. I assume that increases a little bit here, just because of who's in and who's out. Yeah, we're going to go 28 to Mann, 24 to Gordon. I think we probably see a little bit more Bones with no Norm Powell around. We're going to keep Paul George in at that 32 mark. These guys are going to be a real issue because of George and Kawhi. Because we've got like these two pay-up guys that might not play pay-up minutes, which you don't see all that often. Marcus Morris in for 28. That's where it gets tricky. The fact that he didn't play in the fourth quarter is very surprising, because Marcus Morris is like tailor-made for a matchup against the Warriors. I think he's more likely to do that today, and that's why I'm going to leave him with 28. But we need to add someone to this rotation. And I don't totally know who that's going to be. Because they did have a 10-man rotation. Someone's going to play 11 minutes. You always sort of assume it's Robert Covington. They can any sort of like wing type guy is fine. They don't really go to Amir Coffey unless people are out. They don't really seem like they go to Brandon Boston either. So I'm going to say that it's Covington, and I'm going to give him 11 minutes. Kieran, what do you mean? What are real coffees to Australians? Do you mean beer? Is that a Foster's? It's the best I can do for terrible jokes about Australia. Do you have a Foster's and a shrimp on the Barbie? Yeah, look, like, can Bones play more? Sure. I don't know. I don't know what they want to do. That's two teams. Like, I don't know how to trust Denver. I assume that we just don't like Bones because he's not very good, but there's too many interchangeable parts here. I think we're very live to see 30 minutes out of Eric Gordon. So be aware of that. I think the guy that's most likely to soak up playing time here is Eric Gordon. We got to remember, Eric Gordon was playing 30 minutes a game for Houston. It's not like they're stretching him back out now after he got bought out. This dude is in game shape. So, and he fits exactly what they want. And he's a vet on a team coached by a former player. Like, if anybody's getting this time, it's 100% Eric Gordon over Bones. I assume Ty Lue hates Bones and would rather play Eric Gordon like most coaches. Sure. So Calvin, that's a good point, but you don't choose Bones offense when you have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Like, Bones Highland isn't that big of an asset if it means you're taking the ball out of one of those two guys' hands. That's another reason why I think it ends up being Eric Gordon. You would much rather have Eric Gordon spotting up off of whatever sort of pick and roll ISO stuff that those guys are running. And then defensively, you get the benefit of, Eric Gordon being just stronger. So that's where we're going to land for the Clippers, I guess. We'll go to Phoenix after that. We don't have to change any rates or anything. Actually, I got to make sure. Do I need to check anything for Eric Gordon? No, we're good there. And by the way, I think Bones might look good. I assume his salary is criminally low. We finish it off in Phoenix. Josh Okogie in. No Durant, no Payne, no Shamet. Terrence Ross is here. I don't know. Yeah, okay. We can add him in. I don't know why they got Terrence Ross, but good for them, I guess. Terrible pickup as far as I'm concerned. Don Barbs. I don't know if Ty Lue hates Bones already, but I just assume that he does. Who knows? They could be from the same city and I wouldn't even know. All right. So for Phoenix, they last played on Tuesday. They beat Sacramento by 11. We got Josh Okogie starting again. He played 39 minutes. I see no reason to suspect that he's not playing big minutes again. I'm kind of mad that I didn't even go heavier last time. I did until I started looking at the rest of the industry. That didn't help me. 33 for Paul. The one interesting thing here was that they didn't go to straight Saben Lee. Saben Lee got reduced run. And I think that is actually a very relevant piece of information. So I'm going to take Saben Lee down to 10 minutes. I'm going to keep Devin Booker in for 30. I feel pretty good that they're not just letting him rip. I liked my under that I took on Booker. It just so happened that he shot the lights out in those 30 minutes. 13 of 20 plus 6 of 7 from the line. Didn't know people were allowed to make free throws. So who played point guard when it wasn't Saben Lee? Landale on Wainwright, Lee. Okay, so it was Booker for that brief stretch in the or Damian Lee, whichever direction you want to go there. I'm going to say that it's Book. That does free me up 7 minutes, which I know we're going to go to Josh Okogie, but we'll get there in a second. Damian Lee maintains his 22 minutes. And then we're going to get Josh Okogie to 33 at a minimum. We got 32 for Ayton. That bumped up a bit. Biyombo didn't see the floor. Landale played straight backup. I'm going to go 33 to Ayton. That lets me go 15 to Landale. Frees up 2 minutes. Torrey Craig played his 30. If I got to take that dude's over again and it loses, I'm going to really be pissed off. But guy's getting the opportunity. Played 30 minutes, just acquired no stats whatsoever. Ish Wainwright played 20 minutes. He's going to get those extra 2. And that's going to be Phoenix. And as we look at Phoenix, it's Josh Okogie big time. Big time. Very, very clearly the best play here from Phoenix. 4,900 shooting guard, small forward. He should be the highest owned Phoenix Sun. Paul's fine. Ayton looks probably the best to me if you're paying up. I can't imagine getting to Booker. And I don't mind going to Torrey Craig, but it's certainly going to make you not happy. I actually should take a little bit of this playing time away from TJ Warren as well. That'll get me Ish Wainwright up to 20 minutes, which like mildly unlocks Wainwright. Yeah, I got 140 people here. Hit that like button. We are about to be running some crunches. It's a quick show, 3 games. Okay, so if you think that Bones Highland can get to 20 minutes, Bones Highland is very interesting as a value play today. 3,700 point guard only. You're going to have a real tough time getting to the pay-up options here. Between Kawhi, Paul George, and Devin Booker in this game, what you're looking for is like outlier performance in limited minutes. That's where it starts to get really weird. There's not a lot here for this late game, which is not fun to see. But we'll see how that stacks up when we run crunches, which is going to happen right now after I talk about BetMGM, the sponsor of this video. Now, if you're into sports betting, you're in luck. You can click the link in the description of this video or scan the QR code. You can get 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum and first bet insurance up to $1,000 as long as you use the promo code PLATINUMSUB. You got to be 21 or over. You got to be responsible. And if you've got a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty. Let us now save this file, obviously. And now we'll run some crunches. We shall run some crunches. Is this today? FanDuel, first one up. Which direction do we want to go? What do we got? Optimals on FanDuel. 302.13. It's the optimal by 0.57. Caruso, Dosunmu, Levine, Grayson Allen, Josh Okogie, Anthony Edwards. $9,400 price tag on FanDuel looks pretty good. Porzingis, Kyle Anderson, and Nikola Vucevic. 4-man Bulls stack. Power rankings on FanDuel. What do we got? Looking like it's going to be Zach LaVine at the top. Nope. Dosunmu squeaks him out. Had him yesterday. What was his final line yesterday? Because he was tip of the spear for me yesterday too. Yeah, went for 27. Played 43 minutes. It's actually a bit unfortunate. 4.4x times 5 plus 10. Hit 32. Yeah, I mean, he probably didn't want him, but whatever. Dosunmu, Levine, Okogie, Patrick Williams, Anthony Edwards rounds out the top 5. Caruso, Porzingis, Kuzma, Drew Holiday, and Giannis rounds out the rest of the top 10. Now, we take a look at DK for the final time before we get to the All-Star break. Oh, God, that's so good. Just when it hits your lips. Here we go. DraftKings Optimals. Final time before the break. 282.97. This is the optimal by 1.07. So this is very cleanly my optimal. Dosunmu, Caruso, Levine, Jaden McDaniels, Vooch, Okogie, Edwards, Gobert. 3-man Wolves stack, 4-man Bulls stack, and Josh Okogie. You can flip that on its head and go 4-3-1 by removing Dosunmu, switching from Dosunmu McDaniels to Conley Prince. Interesting. Not that I'm surprised by any of that. Let's run the crunch. Let's run the power rankings crunch, see what we got. Juicebox, I am going to enjoy that vacation, man. A little horseback riding, some hikes, nice massage, a couple good dinners, some generic games. It's going to be a good time. Very relaxing. Sir Dave, you are late. Alrighty. The power rankings have Josh Okogie at the top of the list, Anthony Edwards 2, Rudy Gobert 3, Caruso, Levine, Dosunmu, Vooch, Patrick Williams in a 5-pack. Kyle Kuzma and Drew Holiday round it all out. Folks, we've reached the end of the line. I don't have anything else for us to look at. I think that's it, everybody. I think we're done here. I really do. I don't think we have anything else that we could look at for this 3-gamer. You'll get me on contenders videos out in a bit. I don't know how many prize picks are out there yet, but I'm going to try to record that prize picks video before the strategy show. And then strategy show with myself and Adam, at which point I will then be done. That will be my final piece of content until the end of next week. Don Barbs, is DeRozan projected out today? I don't know. I'm assuming that he is. It's a hip injury. Feels like you don't play him on the second half of a back-to-back before the All-Star break. Just an assumption. We'll know more once the injury report comes out at 1:30 or potentially earlier. Who knows? But 1:30 will at least get him on the injury report, but I assume he's out. I'm going to get out of here, folks. Don't forget about me. Make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribe to the channel, notification bell. We will be back here again on Thursday. What does that schedule look like? Thursday of next week is when we come back from the All-Star break. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8. We got a 9-game slate on Thursday. We got an 8-game slate then on Friday. We're back for it, folks. But for now, brief hiatus. All-Star break time for the process. Guys, thanks for being here. Shout out to BetMGM for being the sponsor. I'm out of here, everybody. Peace.